Welcome to Review Play. I wonder what we gon' view today. Everybody loves fun and play, and if you don't, you could go away. We treat you like a throwaway. Welcome to Review Play. I wonder what we gon' view today. Everybody loves fun and play, and if you don't, you could go away. We treat you like a throwaway.
Hey, boss man, Dilo.
What's going on, Cardinal?
Hey, do you mind if I do the intro this time around, man? You never know. Maybe they'll love me.
Alright, man, go ahead.
Huh? For real? Alright, man, bet. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Review Plays Action Figures Take on Skull Island. I'm your co-host, Cardinal, and today we're gonna be doing an unboxing review on Neca's take on the 65th year anniversary edition of 1964 Godzilla vs. Mothra. But on the box, it says Godzilla against Mothra. Back to you, the host with the most, Dilo the Dog.
Respect for the intro, Cardinal. Alright, let's check out the artwork and the detail on the Godzilla vs. Mothra or Godzilla against Mothra packaging. Alright, so first and foremost, we got a nice picture of Mothra right here, flying above Godzilla with him firing his atomic breath. And then we have another picture of Godzilla right here and a couple actors right here, or actresses that was in the movie. And I believe that these are their names in Japan. I took a Google Translate photo of this box and I'm going to show you just now to see if it actually said Godzilla vs. Mothra on the packaging, or see what Google translated to be, right? Okay, here's the top of the box with the Godzilla against Mothra in Japanese and English, and a warning, and ages 14 and up, and the Neca emblem or logo. Here's one side of the box with more of the same picture, and this has the 65th year of, or the 65th anniversary of Godzilla edition. The other side is the same, and on the back of the packaging we have 3 images of Godzilla in different poses, more of the Godzilla against or Godzilla vs. Mothra on the packaging right here. And down here we have some writing. It says, "A massive egg washes ashore after a powerful typhoon and greedy promoters seek to exploit it for profit. Just as twin fairies from Infant Island pled for the egg to be returned to Mothra, Godzilla arrives and will let nothing stand between it and the egg. When Mothra appears, will she be able to defeat Godzilla, or are her offspring and Japan doomed?" So that's what that says right there. Give you up close to that. We have some more logos right here. And on the bottom of the box, it says Neca, and there's the barcode, and at the top of the barcode, it actually has the date, right, of production, and that is right here. After it says 77N, it says 08/12/19, which stands for August 12, 2019. All right, and for y'all that know Neca's boxes and their packaging, you know that when you open the box, you will also see the figure that it comes with and an extra portrait or picture of Godzilla or whatever figure that came with the packaging. It will have a picture right here, as you see, like right here, the example right here, and that's the actual figure itself. That's not a scene from the movie, and it looks very, 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 very nice. All right, so with that being said, let's open the packaging. Oh, one more thing, I just noticed it has a nice picture of Mothra up here flying above Godzilla's head, and Mothra's larvae at the bottom coming on shore. Alright guys, see a picture of that right there. See a picture of Mothra right there? And that's the picture of Godzilla. Alright? Now, let's get into opening the package. Alright, you guys, let's take the big G-Man out the packaging. Now, I did previously have him out the packaging before I did this video, just to see what it's like and to play with the figure a bit. So I'm gonna take him off from the top right here, how I did before. Put him on side for a second, and let's check out the diorama that came in the packaging. If I could take it out, 1 second. Having a little bit of trouble here. Got it. Alright. So the diorama that came in the packaging is a picture of Mothra's egg that got washed up on the beach in the movie with all the people around the egg. So you guys can see. It's nice. Alright, let's put that one aside. Now, in the packaging itself, we have Godzilla. Oh, that was bad. I know that was bad, but I tried a thing. So we have Godzilla. We got his atomic breath and his tail. So I guess there's no need to do the accessories because they're doing it right now. So the accessories is the atomic breath, which is very nice, done in a nice white, let's call it like a tannish color, yellowish, like it's like a clear color with a yellowish tint to it. Alright, that's the atomic blast or the atomic breath effect. Okay. And his tail, which we're about to attach on to Godzilla right now via peg hole. Alright, let's put on his tail real quick. Oh, hold up. Having a little bit of difficulty right now. Let's check it out one more time. And it's on. I believe it's on. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Alright, there we go. You got Godzilla with his tail on. Let's check out how Godzilla will look with the diorama display that came with the packaging. Let's see if his tail will get in the way too much. Let's check it out. You guys go. Something like that, or something like, I don't know how you would explain with this diorama due to his tail. But let's see. I don't know. Well, this is the best I could do for now. Alright. Something like that. That's it with my hand out the way. Alright. Before we take a look at the Godzilla vs. Mothra figure, we're going to do a quick shelf spacing. That's the maximum height, length, weight, and width of the figure that you'll be displaying on your shelf. Alright, we're going to start off with Godzilla's height. So Godzilla's maximum height is 7 inches. He's 7 inches high. And his width is 3 inches. So 7 inches high and 3 inches wide. Now his total length. Alright, let's check out his length. So his total length is 9 1/4 inches from the tip of his tail to the tip of his toenail. It will be maybe a little bit more than 9¼ inches if you include to the tip of his mouth right there. But yeah, it's around 9¼ inches. So now the big question is, can anybody guess the maximum weight, or can you guess around the ballpark of weight that Godzilla will weigh on the scale? How many grams do you think he will weigh? I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to put that in the comment section. Alright, time's up. Let's check out the big G-Man's weight. So Godzilla weighs 443 grams. That's 443 grams of Neca's plastic. Premium plastic. So with that being said, Godzilla's shell space is 7 inches high, 3 inches wide, and 9¼ inches long. Before we continue on with this review, here's a little instruction pamphlet that I found in the packaging that shows you how to properly attach the tail to Godzilla. That we were supposed to warm it up for 20 seconds in warm to hot water. It says warm water here, but I recommend a little hotter than warm. And then after you warm up the tail and we'll warm up both ends, that's what I would do. It will be easier to attach the tail onto Godzilla. So that's the pamphlet that came in the packaging. Godzilla's tail assembly instructions, and yeah, that's it. All right. Okay, now it's time to take a look at the details, sculpting, paint applications, and the articulation of the figure. But before we get started with that, we're going to take a quick look at the atomic breath one last time. So I just wanted to say that I did mention earlier that the atomic breath, or the atomic breath blast here, is made out of a clear plastic with a yellow tint, but I forgot to mention that it also has white dry brushing around the blast effect to give you all that nice detail that you see right here. Just want to mention that real quick and point that out. Okay, all right, now we're gonna move on to the G-Man himself. Starting off with the head sculpt. Now, this head sculpt that I see is very, very nice, very reminiscent of the Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Mothra, obviously, right? But like, yeah, I remember when I was a kid and I first seen a version or variant of Godzilla with eyebrows, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, since when does Godzilla has eyebrows? You know, I found that very funny when I was like younger. I was kind of confused, to tell you the truth. But now that I'm looking at it more, it like grew on to me, you know what I mean? Like, this makes this Godzilla looks very menacing, right? How he was supposed to be in the movie. He wasn't like a hero or nothing. He was more of like a menace, you know what I mean? Destroying everything with his atomic breath and his girth, right? But back to the head sculpt. I like the eyes, the eyebrows, like I just pointed out. It's very nice, you know, and the paint application for the pupils and the eyes itself. Also, I like the way they apply the paint to the teeth, and inside the mouth right there you have like, it looks like almost moist, right? But yeah, I like that. Looks very nice. And his head also reminds me of a mushroom cloud. Like, that was the whole intent. I'm thinking that Japan made this Godzilla's head like a mushroom cloud, like the original Godzilla, you know, based off the tragic things that happened between America and Japan in the past, right? So this Godzilla is like a force of destruction, of natural destruction, but his head, if you take a good look at it, it does look like a mushroom cloud from a nuclear bomb, right? All right, moving down. Oh wait, hold up. And also, I like the way his dorsal plates extend all the way up the top of his head like that, if you guys can see that. His neck's looking nice. very Godzilla-ish. Moving down to his chest. Y'all can see the detail, the sculpting, all the nice sculpting with the scales even on his legs and on his back and his hands, shoulders, right? You can see all the nice paint, the dry brushing on the dorsal fins, or the dorsal, sorry, not fins, the dorsal plates on his back, going all the way down to the end of his tail. You can see all that dry brushing. It's looking real good. Right? Take a look at his legs. Massive, thick legs. His claws or his toenails on his feet. Painted. There's the bottom of his feet. Right? One side has just nice sculpting. The other side also has sculpting, but there's some words right here. Pretty sure it says like Neca and whatnot. And also there's 2 peg holes if you have something to put him in to display him with, a stand to display him with. But yeah, all in all, it's a nice figure. The detail is good, very good. The paint application is just good. I can't complain because it looks just like Godzilla from the movies. The man in the suit, whatever you want to call him. It's cool. Alright, moving on to articulation. So for the head, for Godzilla's head, he could look up. Well, okay, let's see. You can look down that much. Right? You could look up that much, which is not that high. He can't like look up in the sky naturally at all. That's the maximum height you're gonna get with this Neca figure. Okay? Moving down to his arms. You could bring them out that much. See if you can do the T pose. So you definitely can't do the Y pose. Let's see. Well, you could. That's the maximum height you're gonna get with this Godzilla due to the sculpt and all that, you know what I mean? Alright, so back to his shoulder. You could do a full 360 rotation by his shoulders. It's a single jointed elbow, but you could get up to, let's see, almost 90 degrees of bend. Put it like that. Not bad. Go down that much, go up that much, which is not bad. Pretty good. For the wrist, we have full wrist rotation. You also have a hinge to hinge it up and hinge it down. And you also have articulation by the fingers. You could just, you know, move these 3 fingers up or down, or make him hold something if you wanted to, I guess, with that articulation right there. And that articulation right there is very appreciated. I can say that much, because most figures or high-end figures, some of these figures, and Marvel Legend figures too, they will just come with different hands for you to pose them with and pop it out and pop it back in. And I kind of like this. I kind of like this a little better. Although I would appreciate like a gripping hand. But Godzilla, I guess he doesn't, this one doesn't grip. Grip like that to hold like objects to hit people with or hit monsters with. For the other side is the exact same thing. Full 360 rotation. Same bends. Maximum bend. Right there. And same thing. Alright. Now for his neck. For his head. Let's get back up there. His neck area. You could look. Left that much. You could look the other way. That much. It feels like you could twist his head full 360, but that's something I would not do because I don't want to damage the figure, and it's very, very stiff and tight. Even if I was to put it in hot water, I don't even think I'll do that. Right? Okay, with that being said, moving down to his chest area, you could do a full 360, his upper torso, right? Which is good. Let's do that again. Full 360, upper torso, both ways, right? That's good. He could look up. Man, that's the maximum. He ain't gonna look up higher than that, but he could look down. Ooh, you can't look down that much at all. Like, look, it's all the play you have right there when it comes on to articulation in the torso. Comes on to looking up and down, right? So not that much. Moving down to the feet area, his legs. Can we do a full 360? Nope. But let's see. You can move back that much. Let's do that again so you guys can see for the camera. You can move back that much. Move forward that much. So if I was to put him down right here, y'all could see. Put Godzilla down right here. Y'all can see I can move his leg up that much. Right back that much, but that doesn't even look natural, right? That's very not natural. But yeah, I just want to show you that. And his knees, single jointed. It could bend back, but it's very tight, very, very tight. You'll have to, if you really want to play with this figure, you probably have to warm up the whole figure. But as mine stands, it's not that bad. It's very tight. It doesn't go back that much because of all this sculpting, you know what I mean? Can't expect it to go back that much, but it does go back, which is appreciated. And for his ankle, you do have ankle tiltage, right? You could tilt his ankle this way, slightly the other way, and you do have full 360 rotation by the ankle or by the feet. There's no articulation in the toes whatsoever, right? But for the tail, it's segmented. So you seen earlier we attached the tail on, I think it was right here. We attached it on right here, right? But there is a joint right here. I think it's every 2 segments is a joint. So it's one joint right here at the top, another one at the bottom right here of that segment. One over here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 points. In the tail, you have 6 points of articulation, which is very nice. So let's see how the tail, if the tail could bend real good, like see how high you could bend this tail. Could bend it around that much. It's not bad. Opposite way. You know how they do that scene when Godzilla's like using his atomic breath to blast him this way? You know what? Let's try that out real quick. I know that this may not be the exact Godzilla movie that this came from, but check that out. Oh man, I just thought about doing that. That's funny. But yeah, back to the figure. It's a very fun figure to play with, as you guys have just seen. I like it a lot. Can't complain. Neca did a really good job on this figure. Godzilla. Also with the articulation, before we move on, the mouth could open or close that much, and open that much. Alright? And to put the blast effect in the mouth, like how I just did, you see how the tip of the effect looking like a little, like there's a little thing right here. It almost looks like a flute, right? But whatever. So you pop it in like so. I pop it in like this way. So I have this part facing the bottom of his tongue. Pop it in that way. Close his mouth. Hold up. There we go. Close his mouth. And boom. You have the atomic breath. Blast effect in Godzilla's mouth. And it will look something like this. If you were to set him up nicely. There you go. You know what? Let's give him something to blast. Let's just put this thing right here real quick. Just see how that would look. I know this is not from Godzilla at all, just a random generic dinosaur toy, but I'll put it right here to show you a little. There you go. Boom. Godzilla blasting some random dino. Right? So yeah, I find that pretty cool. Also, I just want to point out that this Godzilla cannot do the splits. There's no way on God's green earth that Godzilla right here could do the splits unless you cheat it and go like that and go like that, and there you go. Godzilla's doing some form of splits. You know what? Let's make him look like he's blasting through the air with his blast effect on, right? Yeah, let's take it off real quick. But yeah, that's how Godzilla looks in split mode. Let's put him down on the grass real quick. See how that looks. Well, that's the best you're gonna get him in the splits with this due to his tail, right? You can't really sit fully on his back end. But yeah, I want to show that off real quick, that you could put his legs in some form of split mode, but not really. But it is doable if you cheat it. Alright. For availability, you could probably still find this Neca's Godzilla vs. Mothra figure at your local hobby shop, your local comic book store, because some comic book stores are like hobby shops. They sell like figures and all those things. Definitely Amazon, eBay for sure, maybe at a higher price. Maybe you could find it on Kijiji, depending on how much collectors you have in your community or in your area. And also maybe Facebook Marketplace, also depending on how much collectors you have in your community, in your city or your area, or maybe on how close of a distance the person might be located. Alright, so with that being said, moving on to size comparisons. Here's Neca's Godzilla vs. Mothra figure, or against Mothra figure, with 2 Mega Blocks, aka Mega Constructs, aka Mega Call of Duty minifigures. Now we got Neca's Godzilla vs. Mothra alongside Diamond Select's Venom and Todd McFarlane's DC Multiverse Swamp Thing. Now we're looking at Neca's Godzilla vs. Mothra alongside Todd McFarlane's Cygor from the Spawn series, and also Todd McFarlane's Violator from the Spawn series. Now I gotta say, if King Kong was cybernetically enhanced like Cygor here, whether that might be from humans or aliens, Godzilla would have been having a rough time. Maybe even lost a battle or two. I know all you Godzilla fans are gonna hate me saying that, but that's probably what would have happened. You know what I mean? He maybe would have won the war but lost a few battles, or won a few battles and lost the war. Could have go either way with the enhanced version of King Kong looking like Cygor. And finally, we got Neca's Godzilla vs. Mothra, or Godzilla against Mothra, King of the Monsters, alongside the King of Skull Island himself, Neca's King Kong, alongside an Ice Dragon from Mega Blocks, aka Mega Constructs, aka Mega, alongside 3 dinosaurs. 2 of them are generic, and 1 of them is from Jurassic World. Now, in my last video, when I was reviewing King Kong, I mentioned that this dinosaur was not from Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, and I was wrong, I was incorrect. So I'm going to be doing a review on this guy sometime soon.
Alright, Carno, you ready for the outro?
Yeah. If you made it this far in this video, we really appreciate your time. Hit the like button in order for this channel to reach other viewers just like you. If you're watching this video on YouTube, consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you're watching this video on Rumble, give us a follow. You can also follow Review Play Action Figures on Instagram and Facebook. We'll greatly appreciate your support. We'll leave a link in the description below. And we'll be coming to X and TikTok soon. Everyone have a nice day, keep collecting, stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Carno, out. Hey, how'd I do, Boss Man D-Lo?
You did good.
You think they'll love me?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. I know you guys love me. It's Carno.